You want to know who your real work friends are? Do you really want to know who at the job is interested in you, wants to be a friend? Put in your resignation. And if they still reach out to you after a couple months, that's a real one. Because what I'm finding, or what I've noticed, is that you have so many people that you work with that you've shared horrible meetings with, work gossip, all that kind of stuff for months, maybe even years. And you thought that, oh, these people are cool. But then someone leaves, you leave, turns out you guys don't talk anymore. And that's the funny thing about work relationships or work friendships. Anything that's formed within the workplace, generally speaking, ends at the workplace. Now, this has happened to me many, many times. I've been at my current employer for almost 9 years, and I've been through so many friendships, so many people I used to hang out with, so many people I used to text on a daily basis, call, check up, all that stuff. See them at work every day, talk to them, sit beside them. And now it's like you don't even see their feed on Instagram anymore. You don't see their, WhatsApp statuses. You don't see anything. It's almost as if they never existed. And this has been teaching me something where you need to enjoy or appreciate the friendships that you do have because they all have an expiry date. And sometimes the expiry date might not be extreme, it could just be them leaving the job and not something else. But it's good to take note of that because at any point in time, one day you could simply just have someone resign. And after that, you guys don't talk ever again. Or if you do talk, it's face value conversations. And sit there wondering, did I do something wrong? Did, I say something wrong? What did I do that would have caused this to happen? Not realizing that it's just the expiry date. It's just that they no longer share the same values as you. They're no longer employed in the same space. They no longer need to gossip after meetings with you. They're they've moved on to a different path. A lot of friendships don't survive that in the workplace. It thrives on shared suffering, shared, goals. Maybe if you have the same manager and stuff, you're on the same team, same department, you interact with them for 40 hours a week. You're bound to form friendships, but then once that ends, once someone moves to a different department, once someone changes roles, anything along the sort, that friendship fades. And it's okay, it served its purpose for however long it lasted. But you need to be able to navigate it properly. You need to be able to witness and acknowledge that, okay, I was friends with this person, you know, we were cool, great work acquaintances, but that's just how it is. And you need to accept it. It's not anything bad because if you look back at your life, you've had tons of friends that you thought would be there for a lifetime. And they all come throughout your life for a couple months, years, and then they go along. You go separate paths. And it's so interesting because I think a lot of people silently know this, but they don't really want to accept it. They don't want to say, this friendship served its purpose for this time, and we go our separate ways. It never ends on a, all right, you know what, you've been cool, but we're gonna go this way, you go that way. But I respect you either way. It never goes like that. It always ends in silence. It always ends with one less text, one less check in, one less something until there's nothing more. And that's how I see most work relationships or friendships go. Once the shared values stop, once the shared suffering stops, the friendship stops. And then, you end up finding other people who share the same values, same goals, same suffering. And you turn friends with them. And then the cycle repeats until someone leaves. So that's just how it is. And it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Sometimes it's hard to deal with, but that's life. That's how it's been ever since we grew up. That's how it's been through school. That's how it's been with work. That's how it's been with anything that's proximity related. You guys are sharing the same prison cell at work, a mental prison cell, until one person breaks out or one person gets moved to another cell. You don't talk to your inmate anymore. You just look across and nod, and that's it. So it's an interesting topic to think about. But I'm wondering if I'm the only person that has these thoughts, but it's a very interesting one to think about. So all I have to say is that cherish your friendships that you have while you have them, because at any point in time it can just be cut off just like that, just by someone leaving, or you move to a different department, or you no longer just share the same values. Maybe you stop caring about the job, but the other person does, so now there's a conflict between you two. So enjoy your friendships, cherish them while they last. And even if it kind of dwindles down, you can still check in on your folk. You can still check in, see how they're doing. It won't be a lengthy conversation, but if you really want to, you should. So hit up your bro, your sis, whoever it is, and, check in on your people. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this one, consider subscribing, liking, anything. And we'll talk again on the next one.